like this. And what he does is the same thing everyone else does. He goes, he talks to people who haven't voted yet, he hands them their laptop if he feels comfortable with them after he's got to know them for a little bit, and then he shows them the website, they log on themselves, and then he points out his name on the screen and says, this is where I am, here's where you can vote for me. But under no circumstances have I ever seen him click submit for anyone else. I mean, in the end, that's what we're all arguing over, whether or not he actually submitted the vote for other people, and under no circumstances have I ever seen him do that.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. As you can see, this case is subjective and weak in Mr. Penn's alleged claim that I violated the guidelines. I ask you that you deliberate, you intelligent members of council. Do not base your verdict on subjective and biased opinionated hearsay, but on the actual validity of my legal actions. In my opinion, this law in general was very vague in the sense that there are no direct examples on how to tamper the system. I did not hack into the system. I did not log onto their computer and submit their votes for them. I was a passionate, dedicated candidate who simply gave voters the chance to cast their vote for me at their discretion. I see nothing improper about that. I now rest my case. Thank you.
My laptop, it's like a vote. Okay, sorry, your laptop.
Okay, so then he grabbed his computer out of your hands and voted for himself.
Grabbed is like too much of a, like, it's not, he said to me he wants to show me how to vote because people don't know how to vote. So he said first you click here, you click on his name, and then you click here and click submit.
At any point did you interject and say, this is pretty
Right.
simple?
I mean, like, I was like, I can do it. I mean, like, I didn't think that he would actually click submit. Like, I asked him if I can vote on my own. I asked him to vote privately, and he took the laptop and showed me how to vote by clicking his name and clicking submit. And then right after he did that, I walked out. I said, "That's like this is bullshit. Like, I don't want to vote for you and deal with that." Like, and I think it's a little ridiculous to say that because I was using the laptop, I would automatically vote for you.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just trying to like figure out whether like this was like a very like intentional, like you grabbed them out, did it as fast as possible, click submit before you could do anything, or whether you kind of like watched it slowly.
It wasn't like he was
your
trying to
eyes.
get in the vote. He was showing me how to vote, but like I really did not think that anyone would actually submit. So I assumed that I could have changed the vote.
Your response to the allegation was very specific. Having a statement of like what happened is that this did or did not happen.
That did not happen at all. There's no, the timing is so fast. I question the fact that he's literate. He knew how to vote. I didn't have to offer him to vote. I explained it on my flyer where he can go and did. He did that aspect. He did that aspect. He logged in his password. So obviously he knew what he was doing. So I didn't have to tell him where to log in. He logged in his password. He saw the ballot. He read it himself. He clicked the vote, submit. How was it at any point while he was doing this, if there was a question of privacy, I was right next to him. He said that he asked me for privacy, but at that moment, if I was sitting right next to him, at that moment before I took his laptop and he begged for privacy, he could have logged off. He could have logged off right there.
While he was logged onto your computer, did you use the computer or click any buttons?
I did not click any buttons. I touched the screen.
Thank you.
And
Justine?
Okay, this is Ben and Sarah, just a quick yes or no question. Did Ernest explicitly state at any time when he was giving you his spiel or whatever, that if you were to use, he was only gonna let you use his laptop if you were to vote for him?
When I said to him, I want a closed ballot, he said, you can have a closed ballot if you vote for me. I remember that line.
Before you used the laptop, did he say that by using his laptop?
No, I mean, he just asked me to vote, I wanted to vote, so.
Sarah? No.
Jennifer?
This one's directed to Ben. Did he ever explicitly ask you if you wanted to vote for him or if you wanted to vote in general by offering the
I
laptop?
mean, I remember when he came up to me, he said, do you want to vote? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll vote. So, yeah.
Okay. And Sarah, same question. Did he ever explicitly ask if you wanted to vote for him or did he just offer the laptop to vote in general? Yes, to you.
Yeah, it was also a general, have you voted yet?
Okay.
I received a call about it, I believe, and I'm going to check after, on Thursday, and I have an email that's around that, like Thursday afternoon, let's say.
Okay, so then, Sarah, you said you met Spencer last night. But Spencer, you got her testimony before you met her? Was that, or that was?
Okay. Her testimony I received that in an email late last night. I heard his story on Thursday.
Okay, and How exactly do you two know each other?
Spencer?
Yeah.
Just, we go to Penn together.
Here's the thing, like, he was also like one, I mean, from what he tells me, he like would have voted for you otherwise, so I mean, I think.
I mean, I might have, like, it's like. But like, I just like know him from around Penn, like, it's like, I really have no interest in the politics of this, it's just like, my vote was taken from me, and I just.
Okay, I mean, I'm just trying to get at, I mean, why each of you brought this to Spencer? I mean, what, Sarah?
Because like, I've been talking to Spencer a lot about the election, I was like, oh, Spencer, like, this happened to me, and then he got wound up.
And Sarah?
I really wanted to stay out of it, but when I heard that it was not an isolated incident, when I witnessed it happening to other people, I figured that the principle of it kind of warranted that I come forth despite the fact that I don't like settings like this.
You saw that as another person? Okay.
Yeah, I was there, Ben's incident happened immediately after mine. It was the same evening I had. When I met Spencer, he talked to me about the case that they were bringing forth, and since there was a case in motion, I decided that it was the right thing to do to add what I was bringing to it.
How did you prevent someone voting on your laptop and recognize that they weren't?
I let them submit the vote. There's been many candidates who said either two things while this is going on. I'm not going to vote for you, but where they would click to submit, but they would tell me, hey, I want to vote in private. So at that point, I would excuse myself. And if they decided to vote for me at that moment, they could have. If they didn't, they didn't. There's been other candidates who's also said to me, you know, hey, I'm not voting for you, so I'm not going to log in and use your computer because that's disrespectful. There's been every person that decided to use my laptop, I asked them, hey, would you like to vote? Have you voted for president? Would you like to vote for me? Here's my platform, here's my flyer, log in. They did this voluntarily themselves. And at that moment, normally they'll do it in front of my face, or they'll say, hey, you know, we're Dr. the President. I'll just point on the screen, say the president's right there, you can see it, they click it, they vote. The same issue, same situation happened with him. He clicked on it, he saw my name, he clicked on my name, he saw my flyer, he voted for me. Now he goes back and feels like, I guess he assumed, made the assumption that, okay, he could refresh it later on and change his vote. And he probably did say to be nice for me, but once he found he didn't, and he found out that he couldn't, I guess, be devious, then now he wants to file a complaint and was defense of Spencer Penn. If he would have wanted to vote for Spencer Penn, he could have done the privacy of his own choice. He could have even voted for Spencer Penn on Spencer Penn's laptop if they had so much communication. I don't see why he didn't report it immediately. I don't see why we had Spencer Penn present. Why did this, you know, he didn't bring this charge immediately, and why did he need the defense of Spencer Penn to do a form when he could do it himself as the right of a voter?
I was just wondering, in Ben, your testimony, you suggested that he shows some, like, encouraging to vote for some other candidates.
No, I never said that.
That was a
separate.
I have several written testimonies here from other people who say also, you know, chose you a candidates that he thought they would like, quote unquote, despite the fact he had never met any of them.
Yeah, for Ernest, let me just clarify something for myself. So by transferring the flyer to the recipient and by the recipient accepting it, did you assume that the recipient was going to vote for you?
I give them the flyer and then I ask them and they confirm and I say, well, if you'd like to vote for me, you can log on my laptop. So they both were aware with the flyer and to where to go for the instructions given to them on the website. And they also, when they confirm, if they do, they get the laptop. If they don't confirm it, they don't get the laptop. And at that point, they submit their votes, and normally they vote in my favor because at that point, there would have been no, you know, I didn't offer the chance to vote, just in general. I offered the chance for them to vote for me with the interest. If they did not want to vote for me, they would have been able to get last time.
Okay, there are currently 3 members of the NEC and 2 members of the general public still on the queue. That is brought us to the end of question time unless there is a motion to extend. Justin,
Motion to extend 5 minutes?
okay, is there a 5 or 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Is there a second?
Third.
Okay, second.
Fourth.
Well, there's a motion.